Shalom, brothers and sisters, and once again, this is Brother Brandon Judah Matt Duffy, representing the Solid Foundation International Ministries. This is Brother Brandon Judah Matt Duffy, representing the Solid Foundation International Ministries, brothers and sisters. And we are here to bring you another edition concerning this lesson today. We're going to deal with the Revelations, the 11th chapter. We will be dealing with the 11th chapter, brothers and sisters, concerning this lesson. So this is Solid Foundation, and before we get into the lesson, we want to give all praises and glorification to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, double honors to the elders and the apostles, and salutations to the Akim, preaching this truth and sincerity, edifying the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, and basically, we prophesy week in, week out to tell you about the forecoming and the destruction of America, thermonuclear destruction of America. America will soon be destroyed, brothers and sisters. And you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the people of Indian and Negroid descent, you are the Israelites according to the Bible. And now is your time to awake out of sleep and return to keep your laws, your statutes, and your judgments in order to be saved prior before the second coming of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. 2/3 of our brothers and sisters will be put to death, and 1/3 of you will basically be delivered from this wicked country such as America. Okay, as you can see, let's go in the nuclear destruction folder, and as you can see right here, brothers and sisters, 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, you will be killed for not keeping the laws of God. You will be destroyed. Okay, for not acknowledging that you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Bible, and for not awakening, and for not wanting to keep God's laws. You brothers, you sisters that want to continue to affiliate yourselves with Christianity and things in that nature, you want to continue to follow the customs of America, you can just go ahead and consider yourselves in the 2/3 section, which is here. And you can see 66% of Israel shall die, according to Zechariah 13th chapter, verse 8. 66.6 of you blacks and Hispanics will die because you chose not to repent. And you can see 66.6, that just reflects on also taking the mark of the beast, brothers and sisters, which is the RFID chip, which soon to come. But enough said for 2/3. But 1/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, you will be saved according to Zechariah 13:9. You will be saved, and 144,000 prophets will be leaders to guide you, to show you, to instruct you. Okay, so there will be 144,000 prophets along with 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which would be saved. You other 2/3, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that thinks this is the joke that what we're bringing forth, you're gonna die, man. You're going to die. All right, so so much said for that concerning Solid Foundation International Ministries. Now it's time to get into the lesson, brothers and sisters. We're gonna start with Revelation chapter 11, and we're gonna try to just review this chapter. Okay, it just basically speaks on the time of the Gentiles and the end of the 40 and 2 months, and basically the two prophets. You could say the two witnesses. That's what Revelation is speaking on. A lot of people know Revelation chapter 11. A lot of people know it's titled by two witnesses. So let's go ahead and get into it, brothers and sisters. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. So you can see this is John the Revelator on the island of Patmos that recorded this revelation. The book of Revelation, brothers and sisters, simply means the book of revealings. Okay, so it was certain things that was revealed to John on the island of Patmos, which is located on somewhere around Asia Minor. I think it's on the west coast of Asia Minor. There was given me a reed like unto a rod. An angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple. Now this is not a building. Okay, this is not a place such as a building. This temple is it's talking about when it says rise and measure the temple of God. There are angels that's going to measure certain Israelites in the earth. Okay, you blacks, Hispanics, you Native Americans, you would be measured. Your body is a temple. Keep in mind, this is not a physical temple like, Salakia. This is not a building. Just keep in mind, this is not a building. Okay, this is not a place. But however, this temple is a physical temple. Precept to that, you can go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. Okay. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, brothers and sisters. And it says, know ye not that ye are the temple of God. So, brothers and sisters, you are the temple of God. You are the temple of power. And that the Spirit of God dwells within you. So you are the temple, brothers and sisters. That's a precept dealing with Revelation 11 and 1 concerning what? Concerning the temple of God. It's a physical temple, brothers and sisters, which is the body. And we went over 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. It tells you that you are the temple of God. Acts 7 and 48. Let's look at that one. Okay. Acts 7 and 48. Says, howbeit the Most High dwells not in temples made with hands, as said the prophet. So the Most High, you can see, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he do not dwell in temples that is made with hands. Let me go back up to that, brothers and sisters. That's verse 48. Kind of got sidetracked there, but here it is. The Most High does not dwell in temples made with hands. As you can see, right here, he does not dwell in temples made with hands. Okay, so that's another precept that was Acts 7 and 48. So you can see right here, brothers and sisters, keep in mind, this is a physical temple, which is the body. All right, Revelation 21 and 17. Let's go to Revelation 21:17. I'm just showing you that that temple refers to the physical body, not an actual place. Revelation 21:7. Revelation 21:7. It says, he that overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Salah, it's Revelation really, this is the wrong verse, brothers and sisters. This is supposed to be Revelation 21:17, and I took you to Revelation 21:7. Salakia, brothers and sisters. Revelation 21:17, not Revelation 21:7. Excuse me for that error. This is dealing with the physical temple. It says that he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man. See? The measure of a man, that is, of the angel. So you can see right here, brothers and sisters, it's talking about in Revelation, the 21st chapter, how, pursuing verse 17, how the angel, you can see, he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, and that reflects on the 144,000 prophets that would be leaders over the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. So he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. So when you go back, you can see that this right here, Revelation 21, I mean, it's not that, Revelation 11, that temple refers to a physical body. Okay, I think it's enough said for that. Let's continue to move on. He measured the temple, but not only the temple, but the altar. Now, when it says the altar, that's dealing with priesthood. All right, dealing with priesthood, brothers and sisters. That's what that altar reflects on. It says, "And them that worship therein, them that worship therein." All right. So you could just basically go back and read it from the top, Revelation 11:1. "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God." In other words, to paraphrase this, rise and teach the temple. Rise and teach. Okay, the temple of God, which is the body. Rise and teach. Because when you look at angel, angel means messenger. Okay, which is basically angelos in the Greek. When you look at that, and you can see right here, the angel, it means angelos.
Strong's G32, angelos. Angelos.
Angelos. That's angel for the Greek. Brothers and sisters, as you can see, it says messenger, messenger, envoy, one who is sent, an angel, a messenger from God. So it's basically someone who delivers spiritual divine message. All right, and that was the Greek term for angel, which is G32, which is angelos, which means messenger. So as you can see, we're just kind of going into this. Let's look at measure.
Strong's G3354, metreo. Metreo.
Metreo, which simply is measure for the Greek, which is Greek 3354. And we're going to look into it to see what measure means. It says to measure out or off any space or distance with a measurer's reed or rule. Now, it says to judge according to any rule or standard, to estimate, to measure out, made out, i.e. stands for example explained or example given. To give by measure, in other words, to teach. All right, because it says right here, see, to judge according to any rule or standard, to estimate, and that's classification B, and this simply means to teach. So when you go back into Revelation 11:1, it just basically rise and teach the temple of God, which is the body, and the altar, which is the priesthood. All right. Okay, it says, "And them that worship therein." Revelation 11:2. "But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months." So basically what's going on in verse 2, when it says the court which is without the temple leave out, those are Gentile nations. So let's go into the folder and pull up the table of nations, brothers and sisters. Let's see, can we get this? The table of nations, right here. The table of nations. Let's get the Gentile nations. Let's go back into that. Just disregard number 1, because Revelation 11:2 is not talking about number 1, because number 1 is Israel. Revelation 11:2, when it says but the court which is without the temple leave out, is talking about from 2 to 18 Gentile heathenistic nationality of people, nations of people, non-Israelitish people. such as whites, so-called Caucasians, some may say Europeans, Indians, East Indians, Elamites, Assyrians, Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopians, Egyptians, North Africans, South Africans. Those basically are the ones Revelation 11:2 tells you that court which is without the temple leave out. So to speak, do not teach these particular people, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. So these Gentiles are non-Israelitish people, which Revelation 11:2 is highlighting right here. Gentiles, which are non-Israelitish people. 2 to 18, from 2 to 18. All right, that is basically the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not. Remember, measure, teach it not. Don't teach these Gentiles. Don't teach these non-Israelitish people. Why do it say that? We're gonna show you. Why do it say don't teach? Let's go to Psalms 147, beginning with verse 19. It says, He shows His word unto Jacob, and His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. Psalms 147, verse 20. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as for His judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh, the Lord. So, Psalms 147:19 tells you that He shows His word, meaning that He gave the laws, the statutes, and commands to Jacob. Now, Jacob's name was changed to Israel when you look into Genesis, the 32nd chapter. So it says He showed His words to Israel, which is Jacob. His statutes, that's His commandments, and His judgments into Israel. So you blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, which are the lost 12 tribes of Israel, you were given the Most High statutes and judgments. No other nation on earth was not given the statutes and judgments, such as 2 to 18. Okay, from 2 to 18, these people wasn't given the statutes and the judgments. He gave the statutes and the judgments to number 1, which is the nation of Israel, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Alright, He gave you His statutes and His judgments. And Psalms 147 verse 20 says that He has not dealt so with any nation. Basically, any nation that's outside of Israel, He has not dealt with. And for His judgments, meaning the laws and His commandments, they have not known them. They have no idea concerning the judgments and the commandments. Praise ye the Lord. I'm going to show you another one, brothers and sisters, dealing with the Most High gave the laws only to the nation of Israel. This is, I want to look into Deuteronomy chapter 5, I believe, brothers and sisters. This is Deuteronomy chapter 5. And Moses called unto Israel, and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and the judgments which I speak in your ears. So that's what Moses told the children of Israel. He said, Hear, O Israel. He called Israel, not the white man, not the Chinese man, Japanese, East Indians, Arabs, nor Africans. Moses called Israel. Who are Israel today? Modern so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and the judgments which I speak in your ears. Not the white man's ears, okay? Not the Africans, not the East Indians, nor the Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, not your ears. Okay, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. Now, when you just skip down a little bit concerning Deuteronomy chapter 5, you just skip down and it just tells you a lot more concerning Deuteronomy chapter 5. But also, you can look at Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, and to the statutes and to the judgments. So Israel was given statutes and the judgments. He say, which I teach you. For to do them, that ye may live and go and possess the land which the Lord Yahweh, the God of your fathers, the power of your fathers, have given you. So, enough said about that. Let's go back to Revelation, the 11th chapter. All right, and as you can see, now we have full understanding. But the court which is without the temple, leave out, because that means don't teach these other Gentile nations this knowledge, this truth. From 2 to 18, do not waste your time teaching these nations. Okay? And that's what exactly Revelation 11 and 2 is elaborating. That's what it's elaborating on. But the court which is without the temple, leave out. Don't teach these other non-Israelitish people. Alright? Now, another precept to Revelation 11:2. Let's look into Matthew 7 and 6. It says, give not that which is holy unto dogs. This is what Yahushua told his disciples. Give not which is holy unto dogs. Dogs are related to non-Israelitish people such as 2 to 18. Give not which is holy unto dogs. Neither cast ye your pearls before swine. Now, this is a deep dark saying. That swine is elaborating to so-called white people. Alright, he says, do not cast your pearl before swine. That swine is relating to you so-called modern day white people. You may call yourself Caucasian or European descent, but that's who the swine is in reference to. Do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn against you and rend you. Because that's why we're not out here. This is Matthew 7 and 6. We're not out here to cast our pearls, which is this truth, before you non-Israelitish people, before you Gentiles, you heathens, you whites, Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, East Indians, Africans. We're not out here to cast our pearls before you. Alright? At least they trample them. You'll take basically what we're saying, and they'll turn against us and basically set us up to be killed. Try to think of ways to put prophets to death because it's giving this truth. So don't cast your pearls before swine. Alright? And that takes you back to Revelation 11 and 2. But the court which without the temple, leave out. And measure it not, for it is given to the Gentiles and the holy city. The holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 months. That holy city is Jerusalem. That was taken during the time of 70 CE, or some may say 70 AD. That's the holy city that was treaded underfoot by the Romans, brothers and sisters, by the Romans. Okay. You can also look into, for a precept for that, you can look into Ezekiel 35 and 10. Alright? Ezekiel 35 and 10. And it tells you, because thou hast said these two nations, is elaborating on Edom. Ezekiel 35 is talking about Edom. How the Most High recompense the nation of Edom, which is the modern day Caucasian man, or some may say European. Ezekiel 35:10 speaks on how that holy city was treated, pursuant to Revelation verse 2. It says, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. These two nations basically is relating to Samaria and Judah. Because you had basically Israel that was split into two separate kingdoms, and you had the southern kingdom which resided in Judea, Judah, which was the southern part, and then you had the northern kingdom, which is the Latin Hispanic tribes that dwelt in Samaria, man. So you had the nation of Israel that was split up into two different kingdoms after King Solomon transgressed against the Most High. You can look in that. I think that's 1 Kings 11. chapter 11, King Solomon caused the nation of Israel to be dissected in two different kingdoms, and that's relating to Judah and Samaria. Samaria was located northern part of Israel, and Judah was located southern part. So that's them two nations and them two countries that Esau said that shall be his when he possessed it in 1948 and declared Israel a state. All right, and supposedly fulfilled Bible prophecy, which was false. So, and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it. That's why you got those fake Jews over there in the Middle East today claiming to be the Most High's children. They classify themselves as Israelis, but we know they are from the tribe of Amalek. And it says that we will possess it, which they did, and whereas the Lord was there. So basically, when we was driven out the land in 70 A.D., when the Romans drove us out and put great slaughter to the Jews, took some Jews back to Rome for slaves. And you had 1 million Jews that fled from Judah into the interiors of Africa. After that land became desolate, then you had Gentile nations, a certain Gentile nation of people that migrated into the land, which was none other than the tribe of Amalek, which is you Caucasians or you Edomites, the descendants of Esau, which is so-called white man, or you might classify yourself as Jewish. You the one that came and possessed all land after the real Jews was exiled during the time of 70 A.D. So I just wanted to bring that out, brothers and sisters. Ezekiel 35 and 10, and when you go back to Revelation 11 and 2, that speaks exactly on that when it says the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months. 40 and 2 months is basically in reference of 1,260 260 days. All right, and we'll get into that, but we're gonna give you another precept how the holy city was tread. Let's go to Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 36 and 1. All right. Okay, this is Ezekiel 36 and 1. It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy to the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Okay, Yahweh. Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus said the Lord God, Yahweh power, because the enemy has said against you, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. That's what you so-called want to be real Jews, you fake ass Jewish Khazars. That's what you said when you trodden our land, pursuing Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy, the white man is your enemy. Okay, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, these Caucasian people are your enemies. These Jewish people, they had said against you, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. They possess the real Jews' land. They possess the real Jews, which are blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. They possess your land after exile, after you were exiled. Ezekiel 36 and 3. Therefore prophesy and say, thus said the Lord Yahweh power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession into the residue of the heathen. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people. Alright, so let's continue to read on. We'll stop on verse 5. That says, Ezekiel 36 and 4. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey, it says, in derision, to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Because the cities that were forsaken basically was Judah and Samaria, man, which is Palestine, Israel today. That was forsaken in 70 A.D. when they drove out the real Jews. And it became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen. That's when the so-called fake ass Khazars settled in that land and declared Israel as a state in the year 1948. All right. Let's look at verse 5. It says, "Therefore thus said the Lord Jehovah, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen." And let's keep in mind, heathens are non-Israelitish people, people that are not Negroes and Hispanics and Native Americans. The most I spoke against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Now, Idumea is the Greek term for Edom, which Edom is the so-called white man today. Edom is basically Esau, which was Jacob's eldest brother. And Edom, how you would say Edom in the Greek, is Idumea. All right, brothers and sisters. So all you so-called white people, you may classify yourself as Caucasian. You are the descendants of Esau, which was changed to Edom. And Edom is in Greek Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession. See, you so-called the tribe of Amalek. You want to be Jews, you Israelis, you Khazars, you Jewish people. You resisted the Most High's land with joy of all their heart. Yeah, you was joyous when you took our land, and with despiteful minds. You had despiteful minds to cast it out for prey. So you are the one, basically, you so-called Israelis, Khazars, you Jews, wannabe, you Jewish people. You are exactly the ones Revelation 11:2 is highlighting on when it says, basically, but the court which that is without the temple leave out, measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread on their foot 40 months. 40 months. I have a calculator before me, brothers and sisters. As you can see, I hope you can see it. I'm going to put it in the center of the screen. It says 40 months. Keep in mind it says the holy city shall they tread 40 months. So if you take 42, right, as you can see that, you take 42 and you times it by 30, which is a lunar month, according to the Hebrew calendar, and you come out with 1,260, which is, when you read Revelation 11:3, it says, "And I will give power to my witnesses, which are the two kingdoms of Israel, southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days." That 1,260 days, brothers and sisters, is the same as 40 months. As you see, 40 months, this is the same as the 1,260 days, because when you divide, like I say, we'll do it again. When you divide 42, right here when it says 42 months, when you divide basically 42 times a lunar month, which is 30, you get 1,260, which is right here, 1,260 days. And if you divide 42, basically, if you divide that 42 into 1,260, you would get basically 30, which is a lunar month, and that's why totally this is 1,260 days, which is 42 months times 30, which is 1,206. That's approximately like 350 years, brothers and sisters. So that's why it says, "And I will give power to my witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days, clothed in sackcloth," which is approximately 350 years, close to, matter where I say 400 years we've been in slavery over here in America. And it says that these two witnesses, which is the whole house of Israel, will prophesy basically in 350 days. And 350 years. Nearly we've been over in America 400 years. And that's why you've been seeing the brothers and sisters out doing what they're doing today, because salvation is soon to come. So we're going to stop right there. This is Brother Brandon Judah Duffy representing the Solid Foundation International Ministries. Hope you was edified concerning that short take. To next lesson, Shalom.